What is happening, everybody? Today I'm going to be doing some spring maintenance on the Moto/RZR track. So Norval Rentals dropped off an excavator this morning and I am currently getting in the van to go get into it because no one's here to lift me up in the tractor bucket, which is how I usually get in. So I'm going to try and line up the van perfectly, put the ramp down onto the step and wheel in. I'll show you that. Hopefully it goes as smooth as it sounds. There she is, a Bobcat E50. Always very nice, clean machine. So thank you, Norval. Okay, made it into the cab from the van. Not too bad. I used to have a lift in my van, which made it like a lot easier because you could just put the lift down and drive up to it and it's flat surface and the chair doesn't lose control. But anyways, we made it. Everything's always a struggle, but at least the cab has got air conditioning. I'll shut the door, crank that up, and we'll be laughing. So, made it up to the track here. Basically every spring I have to get a machine up because the jumps and landings get just worn out over winter. Obviously they're covered in weeds right now. I did a quick little pass with the tractor yesterday and mushed down some of the weeds. But yeah, the snow settles on them, so the jumps settle a bit. We have to build those back a bit and just kind of shape them up because they get smushed down and just don't look good over winter. So that's the plan today.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I'm still grooming away here. It pretty much hasn't rained since February, maybe 2 or 3 millimeters, so it's powdery dust. But this jump I'm working on is about 80 feet right now. Got it groomed up. I groomed up the landing already, but I'm thinking I might add 5 or so feet to it because I love this jump. It's my favorite jump. And with the RZR being tuned up with the Super ATV tune, it really hauls ass, and I can get plenty of speed out of this corner back here. With the 1000, I made the jump as big as I could make it in the non-turbo, and that was around 80 feet. But now I could probably do 120, so we'll add a bit. that does it for that jump and landing. That took probably an hour overall, which is about as fast as I can go. So now we're heading back to the middle jumps and gonna tackle this center landing. Well, that's it for grooming. That's a lot of work, and I only showed a bit of it because it takes hours and hours and days to do it properly. So did a pretty quick job, but it's looking way better, and it's going to be good enough for the summer. All right, so I have now gotten out of the excavator, obviously. I'm in the mule. Yeah, things are looking good. We'll do a quick track tour for those that are interested. I'm assuming if you're still watching, you're slightly interested in this kind of stuff. But first, I want to give a quick shout out to Norval Rentals. They supply the excavator and have been supplying me with machines for many years. They are locally owned, locally operated in Kelowna and throughout the Okanagan. So if you need rental equipment, consider using them because they're much better than the big guy. So anyways, let's get started on the tour. So we'll start with this one right here, which I don't know the exact distance of. Actually, I don't know the exact distance of any of them. I will measure them properly, and that'll be in a future video. But for now, we'll just kind of give you the general idea and layout of the track. So from here on out, I'll be driving and filming, so hopefully you can hear me. So yeah, this one's right out in the open here. It's probably 60 feet, I would guess. Nice little floater to this landing. This is the only landing that you can kind of easily drive over, but I won't right now because I'm filming. This used to actually be my main landing for my freestyle ramp back in the day. But it's a lot flatter now because the jump isn't nearly as steep, or else I would die in the RZR. And then it goes down through those trees, nothing exciting, turn around and then come back this way towards us, and you hit this jump next. So I moved, the jump's there, I was back there. So you land, go down there, turn a corner, come up this trail, and hit this guy. That's another like 60, 65 feet. Land over there. We'll go there now. So you land off this big dog, and you don't really want to mess it up because it's pretty tight between the bush and these piles and large trees. And then you scoot through here. Ooh, I didn't do a very good job cleaning up rocks. It's brutal. Oh. I'll have to clean those up sometime. Wow. Okay. Then we're down through this corner here. None of the corners are very big berms. I like to practice kind of crappy corners. Past Chumi. And then into this next double, which is the car jump. So I straightened out the runway for that, so it's going to be easier for cars. Obviously, it's very easy for the RZR. It's probably about 50 feet to the sweet spot. You don't want to go shorter than like 45. You don't really want to go longer than 55, but yeah, good car jump. It's a little flatter and easier than the rest of them. Big landing. All right, so there's the big landing for the car jump, and then hard left into the trees here. Skim by some trees pretty fast. And a couple little ruts for this corner. Pretty easy to put it up on two wheels if you're not careful. And then super high speed out of here. Again, ripping past trees. Exciting. Into this little double here. Again, probably I would guess 50, 55 feet. Not too high on this one. This is probably the shortest jump on the track, not counting these next two. Pretty simple landing. I didn't groom that one because it's not too bad and I don't really care. And then we go back past Chumi. this. It used to be a bigger double, but I tamed it down a bit. For the dirt bike, it was fun. Go down into this big dip, and then I'm not gonna go over it because I'll get stuck, but you hit this little double coming out of the pit, and this is like the softest sand, clay powder here. Oh boy. Super soft corner. Oh, way smoother on the RZR. And then that one is probably my second favorite jump. It's a step up, so you take off right there and then go up, I don't know, 20 feet and land on the flat up there. And then you just turn around, come down the bank and hit this berm right here, which I'll pull up to. This runway is just powder dust. Wears out real quick. But yeah, you come down the hill there, groom this corner a little bit, banked right-hander up into my favorite jump. Again, just powdery dust, which when I make my next video of actually ripping these jumps in the RZR, you will see just how bad it is. So yeah, this is my favorite jump. It is about 80 or 85 feet, and as you can see, it's completely blind, which means you can't see the landing. So this jump, the first time I built it, it was super scary hitting it for the first time because, well, you can't see the landing, so you can't really gauge your speed. So I would go beside it, have a look at it, think, yeah, I gotta go really fast, come around that corner super fast, coming up to it, and I'm like, that feels too fast. I think I'm gonna overshoot it, which, keep in mind, when I built it, it was probably like 70 feet. Would go to the side again, be like, no, that's a big jump, and then go back, and this happened like 10 times until finally I just hit it, going the fast speed, which thankfully I did. Buttered it first time, and since then I've just kind of moved it further and further, but every time I hit this one for the first time in spring, it still gives me butterflies, because you just gotta trust your instinct and hit the gas, and now I've made it probably 5 feet bigger, because that's what happens every time I get a machine. So, moving on. So we're not gonna drive over that one either, because, well, it's I'd probably get high centered, and if not, I'd probably die. So yeah, nice flat takeoffs, big gap on this one. As you can tell, it takes us a few seconds to get past the gap. You don't want to come up short on these puppies. Oh, rock section again. Jeez. And then I made the landing a bit steeper. This one is super smooth if you do it right. And then it's right back into the first one where we started. So it's about 1 minute lap times, maybe a little longer if I do the step up and mess around, but yeah. So again, if you're still with me, I'm assuming that you're slightly interested in this kind of stuff. Another question I get asked a lot is, how do I know how to build the shape of the jumps? And honestly, that's just experience. I've been building jumps since I was riding my first bike at like 5 years old. And they've gotten bigger and bigger ever since. So you learn, you know, what kicks you too much, what is not enough, what kind of humps in the jump make a problem, what don't. But generally speaking, for dirt bikes, since you're in a lot more control of the attitude of the machine, you want some more belly, it's called. So the belly's the middle, and that's basically how much dip there is in it. And if you do that for a car or a RZR or anything that you don't have control in the air, it will want to buck you forward. So all these jumps now tend to be very wedge-like, as flat as you can, and then that just sends you for a good flat flight. And again, if the jump is too short, it'll want to kick you too. So kind of rule of thumb, if it's, ideally you want 2 car lengths or more for it to get on the flat, for it to fly well, but at least a car length and a half, or else you're really going to get it bucking. But yeah, all these are pretty good. Didn't nail them on the first time. Kind of takes a little practice and tweaking over the times, or over the years. But yeah, that's where Norval comes in handy and hooks up the equipment, and I'm able to fine tune all of them and give them a good grooming each spring. But that's going to do it for this time. Next time I'm going to actually get the RZR out. We'll get some really good footage. I'll get a filmer up and we'll do a full lap on that, get some GoPros, whatnot. So subscribe if you haven't. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be a really cool video. But that's going to do it for this time. So thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, all that stuff, and we'll see you next time.